On to International Linguistics Olympiad, sample problem or puzzle number 4, Japanese Braille. So Braille, this is interesting, a writing system designed for the blind that you can read with bumps by feeling the bumps. So it's a pattern of raised dots that give the meaning. And of course, Braille was originally invented with French, and then it's been applied to many different languages. So this is specifically for Japanese. So yeah, of course, when the original French Braille was brought to English, like a lot of the same letters, I mean, it's the Roman alphabet, pretty similar. So it didn't need much change, but brought into these different languages, such as Japanese, very different form of its words, that they basically redesigned the Braille system to work harmoniously with Japanese. Okay, so let's go into it. So how do we crack this? So first we see an example word, and they tell you that this is karaoke or karaoke. And this is where you get the first challenge of these Japanese words, is how you divide them up. Now you can see, like, there appear to be 4 symbols like they have here. They give an example of one symbol here. So this word karaoke or karaoke, it consists of 4 letters. And so this is something to get used to with the way that Japanese works, because we have 7 letters in English, but only 4 in the way Japanese writing system works. So Japanese would take the combination of this consonant and vowel. They would go together. So this would be ka, ra, o, ke. So this is ka, ra, o, ke. So it's 4 pieces. Might be a little tricky to figure out if you're not familiar at all with the Japanese writing systems, but you may be able to figure it out, just the idea that, okay, it's karaoke. It's like 4 syllables in a way. It's like karaoke. Okay, so you can see that these are the 4. Okay, so this is karaoke. Now we have 6 words, and we have the Braille for these 6 words. And that's it. Figure it out. Which of these 6? So it's another one of those matching puzzles where we match up each of the words with its Braille. Then we're going to be asked to get a couple of new words, and then we get new translations. We have to write in the Braille ourselves. Okay. So how do we start to get into this problem? What's the first way in? Well, we have to work with the information that we have. The information that we have is karaoke. This we see we have ka. You see, now look at that. Just the fact that we have ka, and this we also have ka. So it looks like whatever the word katana is going to be starting with the same symbol as karaoke. Now we have that here. That's C. So we have C as katana. So that's showing up pretty strongly. Okay. And that also gives some more information, because if this is katana, we also know what ta is, and we know what na is. So is that going to help? Well, okay, maybe no. Oh, well, katana is the same as what we see in Atari. So we have ta and ta. So do we see another word that has this same middle letter? And there it is, F. Okay, so F, we have Atari. So that's looking pretty good. And then also this gives us a and ri. And this is interesting that we see the a here. The a is nothing but the dot. It's almost like the most basic letter of all. There's this a. Okay, so it's kind of like a foundation letter, looks like. And we have the ta, we have the ri. Okay. So now, is that going to help with any of these other options? Because we now have a and ri. Well, there's nothing else here that has a or ri. So that's not going to help. So what's the next way in? Well, we could look at the next pieces that we have from karaoke. We also have a ra. So is ra going to help? Any other ras? No, we haven't. Well, this is a ra o. This must be the o. Do we have any o's by themselves? No, because here we have an o, but this is part of no. There's ki, mo, no, and this is ko. So we don't have just the o by itself. And then we have the k. Okay, well, the k is going to be at the end of sa k. So where do we have the k? Here's the k ending, and look at that. There it is as well in B. So we can confirm that B is sake. Okay, so that's getting pretty clear. B is sake. And that's another, so, okay, now we know what sa is. Okay. Which I guess might be helpful for writing samurai, but it's not going to help for any of these remaining words so far. Okay, so next, well, I would say one way I could look at, another way to look at this, so yeah, like all the information we got so far was starting from this information we have with karaoke, this given word, and then applying it to these words, and then taking the pieces of those revealed words and seeing what else we can reveal. I think that's the end of the ability to do that directly. I don't see, based on these pieces and the pieces that were revealed through it, we got katana, which led to atari, but that's kind of reached the end. And we got the K, let's a sake. One other way in here is we can look at the counting and the size. This is also something that's a very common feature when we're cracking codes, is you look at the length of the message. So even if each of the symbols in the message is completely unknown, sometimes you can see the difference between a long message and a short message. And you can see that here with E. So E and B. B and E are the two options that have only two letters. The others all have three. Well, B is sake. So what's the other short one? See sake short, that it says two sake. And what's the other short one? Koi. Now we have koi. Okay, so that's got to be E. The only other short one. The other ones are all going to need three letters. Okay, so that would be get koi. Okay. So that leaves us with only A and D. And so one of them is going to be haiku, and one of them is going to be kimono. So between A and D, which one fits for haiku versus kimono? Hai. Ooh, we have an, oh wait, no, we do have the information because we have koi. Koi ends with an E, this I here, and haiku has the I in the middle. So there it is. This A is clearly identified as haiku. It's haiku. Same as the koi. It has that same E sound right there. And that leaves by elimination that D must be kimono. So everything that we've gotten so far, we can complete that without ever really looking into the actual pattern of the dots and trying to sort out how the dots are arranged. It's simply taking each of these as pieces. Each letter is just like a piece, it's a shape, and we're matching the shapes that match. That's it. And you'll see this with a lot of these linguistics Olympiad puzzles, is they have kind of like a beginners, intermediate, and advanced section. And so like you can often get a partial score by getting one of these initial sections, and then they have sort of the extra challenge, the bonus challenge, to get the complete score. So you see, number one is kind of like the beginner section that we can complete just by following the patterns. But now we need to actually look into these dots and go into the pattern of these dots, because how else are we going to solve? Now we know that C is katana. So this word here, we know that the first sound is ka. But now we're left with, wait a minute. Here it is, ra. There's a ra. Okay, so that's a ra. So this is ka, ra. Okay. Ka, ra. Well, okay. Ka, ra. And then what's the third one? I'm looking for a match to this, and I don't see it. Okay. So we have to try to break down the pattern to try to figure out how do we get to this, whatever this, like what is this? So one thing that, I'll just look for anything that I can compare with other letters. I'm very curious to see this one with all 6 dots. It's kind of the opposite of, we have the A, which is just 1 dot. It's like the most simple possible letter. And then we have this one that has 6 dots, all 6 dots. This one has 5, so it's very close to that. But we don't know what that stands for yet, so that's not helpful. We need to look at one of the ones that we know, because each of these letters, we know what words they match with. So here I see one that's pretty similar. That's D, the second sound in D, which is mo. Okay, so this is ki mo no. So here we have mo. Okay, so it's kind of like mo, except what's different about it? This, well, mo here has, it has the dot in the bottom right, but no dot in the bottom left. So those are switched. It's something that maybe we can look separately at the top and the bottom, because each of these letters has to carry the sound of what in English we would write as being 2 letters. Like you would have, typically you have a consonant and a vowel, like in the ka, ra. Sometimes you have no consonant, just a vowel, like o. So I see here that if we look at these letters that have no consonant, they're just a vowel. Like here's o, and it gets these 2 dots at the top, nothing at the bottom. And I see that again with the with the a here, or for here for atari, we see there's just 1 dot. Like there's nothing at the bottom. Do we see other examples of that? In here for sake, no wait, for haiku. No, here it is for haiku. Here's the E. So all these sounds that have only the vowel, the A, the E, O, they get nothing at the bottom. So it seems to suggest that the vowel part of the letter is stored at the top, while the consonant part of the letter is stored at the bottom. Okay, so if we look for parts that match, we can try to find what the vowel is in each of these mystery sounds. Like here we see a. Like look at a. So a by itself is a dot in the top left corner. Well, what's the a here for karaoke? Look, it's also a dot in the top left corner. Ra also has a dot in the top left corner. Whereas O has these dots that might be called the 2 and 3 position. If we go across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we count the dots that way. A would be a number 1 dot, and the O here gets a 2 and 3. Whereas here A, or the sound A written as the letter with the letter E, this gets all 3 dots, 1, 2, 3. Okay, does that pattern hold for everything? So let's compare across everything we have. That we have, okay, we have ha-iku, ha, there's the ha, E. Okay, so E gets these two. E gets 1 and 3. Okay, so you can start to write, it's like for these vowels, we get A is 1, and then the E, as in the sound E, gets 1 and 3, and the O that we see, like in karaoke, this gets 2 and 3, and the A, as we see in karaoke, this gets 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's pretty good. And then that only leaves U. Yes, the U, the last vowel to fill in would be the U, and we see that in haiku, and that gets 1 and 2. So yes, this covers the 5 vowels of Japanese. How elegant is that? With your 3 dots, you can pick any choice of 1 to 3 dots in order to express these 5 vowels in the most efficient way possible. So that leaves these 3, and that we can confirm that this matches with all of these examples. They all fit with this pattern. Like you can see, like in D, okay, we have D. So D is katana. So we have D is kimono. So we have 2 and 3. We have 1 and 3 for the E. For the O, we have 2 and 3. Yeah, and then another O, we also have 2 and 3. Okay. So it looks like, there's 6 dots, and each of the dots each of those letters has to represent what we would represent as 2 letters in English, consonant and vowel. And it looks like the top 3 dots represent the vowel. And that leaves the bottom 3 to represent the consonants. So let's see how we can fill in the values of the consonants. Here we look at karaoke. Well, there it is. Karaoke, you see that K is covered in the bottom dot. So we have the K gets the bottom dot. So we have K is 6 for the bottom dot. Then we have the Ra. Ra, we see Ra gets the 4th position. That's a Ra. Then we have blank for the O gets just a vowel. And then we have another K, which again gets the bottom dot. And yes, we can see that works. The 6 for the K, and the 1, 2, 3 for the vowel E or A gets the sound K at the end of karaoke. So we can apply this and kind of write out the pattern for the remaining words here. So we have A is haiku. Look at H. There's H is 5 and 6. E blank, and then the ku, K gets again the bottom right corner, the 6th dot for the ku. B, we have sa, K. Well, here we have an S. S is 4 and 6. And then another K. Katana, we see another K. Then we have a T. It looks like T, O, kata. Wait a minute. I thought I had S there for 4 and 6. Oops. Did I do wrong there? 4 and 6. Oh, yeah. I just counted wrong. There's 4 there, so C for C is katana. C for C we get the T for katana, and that gets 4, 5, right? So that's it. That's here 4 and 5 for the ta. And then an N, it looks like an N is nothing but the 5. All right, so, okay, then for D, we have kimono. We start with the K there. Oh, look at M. There's the one that fills it up. M fills up the bottom. Okay, so M fills up the bottom 4, 5, 6. Mo, and then no, we have another N. E, Koi, there's the K again. Blank for the E. Then for F, we have a tari. There's a blank for the A. There's the ta again for 5. And then we have the R, which is just the 4. So yeah, this and this really is a reminder that it's always good in the Olympiad to always be taking notes and recording your own the patterns that you see. It seems like a lot of extra work at first, but then once you get that, it's kind of like you have like your magic key to solve everything. Everything can just be figured out from there, because now it's nothing but we have all the information we need to fill in the blanks, and we see we simply apply it to the mystery words. That's all there is to it. So for G, we can see we have the ka, which matches the ka in karaoke. We have the ra, which also matches the ra from karaoke. So this is starting with kara. And now we see the 3 dots, 1, 2, 3, that's an A sound. And then we have the 4, 5, and that's a T. So this is karate. There we go. Thankfully, they picked words that are typically familiar in English. So that is also another sign that it's on the right track. So we have karate or karate. Finally, for H, we have a. Okay, so then, oh yeah, there it is, karate. Now we have A, H is A, and then we have, what's this? Well, we have 1 and 3. So 1 and 3 is an E, and then we have a 5. So that is ni. Okay, and we're going for English familiar words, so I have to think that we're going to go for anime. And there it is, E, 1, 2, 3. You have 1, 2, 3 for E, 4, 5, 6 for M, and that leaves me. Okay, so now we simply need to build the Braille for these remaining 2 words. So simply fill in from the pieces we have. Samurai, the first one would be a 1 for the A. So we're starting with the sound sa. So we have 1 for the A, and then we have 4 and 6 for the S. So the first one would be 1, 4, 6. Would be nice to draw it in. I guess for the answer you're going to be drawing it in, but you can see how to draw those dots, the 1, 4, 6 pattern. Then we have mu. So we have, well, did we get an example? Yes, we have the from the haiku. There it is, 1, 2 for Okay, so it's 1, 2, and then the M gets 4, 5, 6. So we get a 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Next one would be ra, and we already have the ra there from karaoke. We know how to do that one. And that, well, actually, I could have said that with the sa as well. We have the sa k, so we know how to do sa. There's the sa. Ra is going to be a 1, 4. And then finally the E, which would be the same as in haiku, that would be a 1, 3. Right there. So that should be the 4 letters for samurai. And finally for miso, well, we start with the E would be 1, 3, and the M is 4, 5, 6. So we go 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. And finally, we have so. So we have the O is 2, 3, and the S is 4, 6. So we have 2, 3, 4, 6, and you draw it out, and that is it. That is how you solve it. So I really enjoy going through these puzzles, and you start with something that looks like complete gibberish, really, completely unintelligible. And then you come up with something that you have a clear order for and is well understood. And you could write your name using these if you want, if you can fit, into the sounds of Japanese. And you can now work with Japanese Braille. So hope you've enjoyed this puzzle. I think this is a pretty fun one. And I'll see you in the next one.